Tuesday, Parshat Tetzaveh, we're going to do the end of Ois Gimel in the Zera Shimshon. Zera Shimshon brings down the Zohar. And the Zohar says in this week's Parsha that because Moshe Rabbeinu said next week in Parshat Kisisa, V'im ayin mechayni no mesifrecha, and if you are going to Chas v'Shulam Hashem, kill out all of Klal Yisroel, then wipe me out from the entire Torah. So says Zohar, because of that, so therefore in this week's Parsha of the Tetzaveh, that's why Moshe Rabbeinu's name is not mentioned. As Zera Shimshon, what does one have to do with another? Why did Hashem dafka pick this week's Parsha of the Tetzaveh if Moshe Rabbeinu said it already in Kisisa, next week's Parsha? Why did he choose this week's Parsha not to mention Moshe Rabbeinu's name? Answers Zera Shimshon like this. It says this week's Parsha talks about the Kehina, talks about the Big Day Kehina and some of the avodah that the Kohanim had to do, which was Aaron HaKohen, because Aaron HaKohen was chosen this week to be a Kohen. Why was Aaron HaKohen chosen to be a Kohen? Because Moshe Rabbeinu didn't want to go do the shlichus of the Eibishter in Mitzrayim, like we said. He said, "Shlach no b'yad tishlach." Right? And since he didn't want to go, so the Eibishter said, okay, so you're not going to go do the shlichus, and then here you're not going to do the shlichus either in the Beis Hamikdash. Why did Moshe Rabbeinu want to do the shlichus? Because not that he didn't want to do the will of Hashem, he wanted that the Eibishter himself should go. Why? Because he knew that if a boss of Edom would go, that they wouldn't finish the shibud, the exile would still come about to them. They would still have the hardships. But if Hashem himself went ahead and took out Klal Yisroel and did everything for Klal Yisroel, and he was the one that did it, and not through a shliach, then there wouldn't be any more golus, there wouldn't be any more exile, and there wouldn't be any more hardships. So why Taka then did Hashem not want to do it himself? Because Hashem knew that in the future Klal Yisroel is unfortunately going to sin. And if they sin, instead of taking out his wrath on sticks and stones, chas v'sholom, he would have to kill out all of Klal Yisrael because there wouldn't be any kapara, because there wouldn't be any hardships. They weren't allowed to be going into Golus. So instead, he wanted to send a human being, a bus of Adam. So if he sends a bus of Adam, so then it's going to continue being a Golus, and it's continue being hardships, and therefore Hashem could take a kapura, and he could accept forgiveness, and he could take out his wrath on sticks and stones like he did by the Beis Hamikdash. Now, when Klal Yisroel sinned in the end, what did Moshe Rabbeinu say? Moshe Rabbeinu said, "V'im ayin mechanina," and if you're not going to listen to me, and if you're going to kill them out, then wipe me out. And because of that, Hashem chose Aaron HaKohen to become Kohen, and doesn't say the name of Moshe Rabbeinu, because Moshe Rabbeinu said, "V'im ayin mechanina." What does that have to do with this? Because since Klal Yisroel did the chet, so now it wasn't right for what Moshe Rabbeinu said, that he doesn't want to go become a shliach, because Klal Yisroel did a chet. Moshe Rabbeinu thought that after Kabbalah Torah the Yidden wouldn't do a chet anymore, so therefore he wanted Hashem to go to himself. He didn't want it through a shliach. But now that we see that Klal Yisrael did sin, so Moshe Rabbeinu was wrong, quote unquote. It wasn't right for him to not take upon the shlichus, to become an emissary of Hashem. And just the opposite. It was correct that Hashem himself did not go and redeem Klal Yisrael by himself, only through a bas of Adam. And therefore, since it was not correct for Moshe Rabbeinu to say that he doesn't want to go to become a shliach, so then therefore he was not being a shliach either by doing the avodah in the Beis Hamikdash and in the Mishkan. And therefore, in this week's Parsha, where it talks about Kehina and Aaron HaKohen is chosen, it doesn't mention Moshe Rabbeinu's name.